Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we are going to look at the oil and natural gas daily technical analysis update. We'll take a look at it. I'll give you my financial opinion. We'll jump right into it. So here is crude oil. We have an update today. This thing was all over the place today, moving up and down, but it's still looking good. We have broken out of this downtrend line. We've been kind of bouncing sideways to slightly higher in this drift higher. And it's looking good. It's looking good from a crude oil perspective, $110 a barrel. Natural gas has been bouncing. Will this pull back? You know what, guys? I'm going to go with, I'm not 100% sure, but if I were to take a guess, and when I look at this, we've got two large down candlesticks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days that we can't break this. I think we will head lower to this area. That's where I think we'll eventually end up. And that would be a great buying opportunity, like a great buying opportunity. So that's where I think natural gas might go in the short term if I were to take a guess. Now, we have these big down candlesticks. They're bearish engulfings. I don't see the buyers blowing through this to the upside. This does, by looking at this, it means we could head a little bit lower to some area down here. We've got this large down candlestick. We had this big kind of move here, and the up days aren't as strong. So I do think that we want to head lower just by looking at this chart and the candlesticks that I'm used to seeing. So that's what I see in the short-term future, perhaps a better buying opportunity. So look at the red days. Looking at this, we've got lots of red and green days, and I'm looking at the size of them. This is a big red day there, a big red day here. We've got two here. This was all that strategic petroleum release and the, was it the 0.5% Federal Reserve increase. And it looks like we're getting some selling pressure on this general area here. Now, would I sell my shares? No, because, I mean, we got some buying pressure in there too, but the inventories are ultra low. Inventories are ultra low, and, you know, I'm going to hold on to my shares here. And in all honesty, this is a battle between the buyers and the sellers. You got sellers selling down, you got buyers buying this thing back up, and we are basically in this gigantic channel going slightly lower. It's facing downward, which usually means it's bullish to move up eventually. It's just the timing. CDV, this one did get, it's merging with another company. I view it as positive long term. You got to get these assets. It's causing a little bit of selling pressure, but again, I think in this general vicinity, it's starting to look a lot better for an entry point. Crew Energy, another one that I think will eventually kind of head down, maybe back here. You get these movements like that. See it all the time. We'll probably do something like that. That's my guess. But again, you know, the future is not known. But we do have some strong selling pressure these 3 days here. CPE, another one that's been drifting lower. It got some large down candlesticks intermixed here. And we'll find some support at some point right at this white line, I think. And we'll probably bounce sideways until oil really gets moving. Athabasca Oil, a little bit of a small down day today. This still looks excellent. It does look good. Very strong looking. Recaf getting a little bit of a selling pressure today. It was going higher earlier. It sold off. Crescent Point, again, every time we get up here, resistance. We're at that resistance. We'll see if it breaks. Northern Oil and Gas, another one that's been just clustered all through here. It's all clustered in there. We had this pattern that broke to the downside. We had a retest move. That's where I would have been looking to buy. GTE on support, looking okay. Remember, we're getting those little patterns, and they could be scrunched up like that. And then eventually we'll go when oil does, when it tells us to go. Tellurian, the pullback, basically almost a full pullback there. That would have been a good buying opportunity. Pedevco just moving sideways. It's a little bit above support. A little bit of an update in Oasis, still looking okay. That's that big long down or uptrend line. CRK, another one that's got that type of pattern. We'll see if it heads a little bit lower. I'm hoping it does. I'd like to buy some more. SD moving sideways. Again, this thing's, it's looking good. It's not really pulling back much, but I mean, the big picture view, it's looking good. But short term, we're getting some bouncing sideways. Ring energy, a little bit stronger selling pressure here. We are getting that type of pattern here where we could head a little bit lower, a little bit of a pullback. And I'm just seeing this in natural gas. I'm seeing it in some of the, in oil or XOP, the oil ETF, oil and exploration ETF. So I am seeing a little bit of selling pressure, coming up here. Again, though, I mean, buyers and sellers are doing it. They're dueling it out back and forth. The oil price has been kind of volatile, not really moving much of anywhere. Tamarack Valley moving sideways. Crescent Energy sideways. Vermilion Energy sideways in the channel. And then we've got Meg Energy sideways. And the money can rotate at any second, guys. It can move at any time. We do see this pattern, though. And it may come back to retest down here. And again, the short-term movements are unknown because everything's yanking and pulling on it. The overall markets, the S&P 500 do look good. And it looks like they're trying to put in a bottom, so maybe these will head higher. OIH, another one, we got, some strong selling pressure. I do think we're still in a pullback mode until we're not. I haven't seen the buyers step in yet, so I'm going to state that we're still in pullback mode. That's what these big, large down candlesticks interjected here means we're in a consolidation pullback. You don't see any of them this way in the chart. These are all big green candlesticks and no huge red down candlesticks. We can see someone selling in here. So we could see a little bit more downside pressure over the short term. We are consolidating in a pullback. We can see these large red candlesticks showing up in some of these stocks. The big punching, like you can see it here clear as day. This is a pullback. But I just ride through it. I don't worry about it. Just hold on. The money will rotate over. We got the pullback here in EXTN. Again, maybe we come back and retest the support line. Valaris hammer pattern. That's good. But looking fine. Still moving higher. MMA offshore moving sideways. Still looks great. Tidewater getting a little bit of a sell-off. I do think this might want to come back a little bit. In the short term. You can see these selling pressure days in this little area here. There's one there. So when you start seeing that, the sellers are coming in here and selling it off a little bit. You might see a little bit of a pullback. Tidewater, no, KLXE coming up. This one looks better. We got the larger up days here and then the small sell-off like that. That's usually what I see before a move going on up. CHX bouncing sideways within this pattern. We've got Cactus Energy. And I mean, I'm just trying to see, this overall pattern there. Let me get this out of here. But it's moving sideways underneath its resistance line. We've got 9 just moving sideways. OII moving sideways above its support. That one still looks good. Bullish engulfing there. Noble Energy moving sideways below its trend line. Tried breaking out. Noble Energy just bouncing sideways to lower. Bigger down candlesticks versus the up candlesticks is what I'm seeing. CGGYY, another one that's got a little bit more selling pressure. We're pulling back. Petrofac continues to move on up. I do see a little bit of a squeeze coming on here, and sometimes they squeeze up, and then they kind of break down a little bit. To the downside in the short term, McCoy Global, and then we've got Diamond Offshore Drilling. A little bit of a sell-off today. Again, guys, like I really don't trade in and out of these things. I know a lot of people like these daily technical analysis updates. They like seeing entry points. And right now, I'm kind of just waiting. I'm waiting to see what the overall markets do. I want to see a little bit more buying pressure in them. They were looking really weak. We did see a little bit more buying pressure. I'll just pull up the S&P 500 real quick. The S&P 500 has that hammer candlestick We saw the buying pressure come in today, so hopefully we can get a little bit of momentum to the upside for the overall market. Hopefully it stabilizes. If it stabilizes, I think the commodity companies will do well. If we're still doing this sell everything event type move, it could drag us a little bit lower. So that's where I'm hesitant to be like, yeah, this looks great. It looks good, and all of the ratios look good. Everything looks good from that perspective. We just have to ride through this volatility. And that's where we're at. We're at this volatility going up and down. And obviously some of them have pulled back, like uranium's pulled back. Oil hasn't really pulled back that much. I do think it's a really strong sector. But it looks like it's putting in patterns that it wants to pull back. It just, the market's not allowing it to because it's short oil. The patterns look like we're in a consolidation, like it wants to come back and consolidate. That's why we're seeing those big down candlesticks interjected all throughout. But it's not really falling because the fundamentals, the numerator looks good. So people aren't selling oil. They're buying it. The oil companies, that's what we're seeing. But the overall markets are pulling us lower with it slightly. So just hang in there, guys. That's what I would say. Hang in there and be patient. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website, Platinum membership. We're going to be doing a 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time meeting. And if you're seeing this, you can probably maybe still join it if you're seeing it right when it's released. You could join up to be a Platinum member and ask some questions on the website if you want to. All right, guys, that's all I've got. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.